Okay, so this may be one of my worst starts to a video. Let me explain. So quickly, my voice is kind of going again. So I'm going to relax a bit on trying to talk too much, but I still want to give as much input as I can to be transformative. And yes, I'm playing with like a bag by my feet. Another thing, I'm in the middle of this video. So this is the video I was referring to when I was watching Wendigoon's Icebergs, when I seen him upload the Hypnagogic archive. So this is the Hypnagogic archive, and Hypnagogic means relating to the state immediately before sleep. So I wanted to explain that right before we hop in, because I guess these are stories. There's a little bit more when you watch the video, but if you haven't watched it, I suggest you go watch it and like get at least the beginning, because I'm gonna start on a story. I'm gonna start on right now. I'm at 1814, and this story is called Genetic Opportunity, and I already watched the first two stories, but I just got the idea to make this instead of do like a full entire video or cover the other requests that I have right now, to just honestly hear some weird story, and maybe we'll do like two in this video. And if you want to hear me cover the rest of the stories like in this video, I'll just put them in the title instead of like, I guess there'll be parts, but yeah. And try to give my voice a break, because I felt it coming on, and that's kind of why I've been doing the conspiracy theory iceberg videos instead of anything else right now. It's because it's like one super long video, let it sit, and don't have to do so many more requests. Oh, but yeah, throat is feeling weird this time. May recover fast, make it worse. We will see, but don't worry, I'll be fine. So let's hop in. We're at 1814, and this one is called Genetic Opportunity. So the second story that he read off in this video, which was or was it? It was kind of part of call and response, I think. Wait, I don't remember. Well, in this cut right here, there was a story about a guy in a VHS tape, but that one was a bit confusing. So I don't know. I don't really know. Honestly, go and watch the beginning to kind of understand the Hypnagogic archive. But it's really freaking cool. Like, this thing is really cool, and it caught me. It caught my interest to really make this video, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for today while I'm just chilling and trying to get my voice back, or throat to calm down. Oh shoot, I have cough, bro. I have cough drops. I have tea and cough drops. All right, got the tea down. Little butt action for y'all. Alrighty, let's pop one of these suckers. Let's waste no more time too. Is everything good? I changed the setup once again. I like this setup a lot more, with the whole whoop, kind of see the screen in the beginning. And I kind of want to get like a shelf or something back there, but I'm gonna leave it like this for a while. So yeah. Oh, as always, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sending out a lot of love, always important. Hopefully you're feeling a lot better than I am. Hopefully you're feeling good. Hopefully you're keeping positive affirmations in your head. Remember, the negative tries to outweigh the good. Well, the good or positive thoughts. So do your best to try to keep positive affirmations in your head. Other than that, let's begin. No more time wasted.
So for now, we'll move on to our next story, Genetic Opportunity. I really love a lot of these short stories within the archive, and I know what my favorite is, but Genetic Opportunity is definitely a top 5. The archive says that it was originally posted to the Minneapolis Jobs Board in 1997. The opening message reads, "Applicants wanted. Team of highly qualified grads at UM are looking for applicant. Ideally 20 to 35. Stocky, rough build, preferably male, but female will also work given proper conditions. Want spontaneity. Running through on a first come, first served basis. We pay handsomely. Message us on our Usenet board, UM Genealogy team, or respond below. Are on the verge of something. Need quick replies and to be easy on hand. Easy to work with. Get back as soon as you can. Space is filling up fast."
Dude, I don't know if I could ever be a part of anything that had to do with like genetic, like gene altering or whatever this is about to lead into, but let's see.
We then see a response from someone known as Derek, who is 21 years old and says that he needs the money for his uncle's heart medicine.
I'm sorry to all the people named Derek out there. It sounds like a Derek would be into this. Derek sounds like the main protagonist of like Prototype or something. I don't actually remember what I don't know what the protagonists for the Prototype games were, but
medication. He says he's interested and asks for the team to call him back and list his phone number.
The number you dialed is not a working number. Please check the number.
Well, that's lame.
Wendigoon dialed it? Bro, that actually genuinely caught me off guard. No, look at his face. I'm so sorry to do this to you, bro. Also, I meant to say, shout out to Wendigoon. That's for the thumbnail, bro. I'm so sorry. But Wendigoon, if you want me to take down any of my videos, always care about the creator. Dude, that's crazy, bro. Not a chance. Anything that, like, even though I don't think the Hypnagogic, I guess maybe it's not that sus, but imagine getting an answer. Nah.
They agree to use Derek in the trials that they are hosting, and in the following entries we see Derek's description of events, as can be seen in the following messages. Thanks for everything. The receptionist was nice and your staff was very friendly. Also the upfront payment. Anyway, how you instructed, I'm going to report the effects every day I take the substance. Your techniques seemed, well, remarkably advanced. I only took some chem and biology in 11th grade, but I've been reading up on this cloning stuff lately and it really interests me. They clone that sheep. There are pictures of her and everything. So we see that Derek is part of a drug trial, and after he takes this substance, he is supposed to report the effects back to this board. Everything is fine on his first entry, and it's in the second entry that we see the sign of something being wrong. I think I should mention something that happened today. Sundays I usually go out and walk around downtown for a while. Not really to buy anything because usually I'm pressed for cash, but there are some nice displays. I got to this one display. I think they had a stereo set in the window, and I was looking at it for about 2 minutes when I noticed my reflection in the glass. It was kind of like my eyes were focused on the setup, and then they snapped back and I saw myself. We get our next clue that something is wrong later in the...
Wait. I have to like double take that back. So he was looking at it for about 2 minutes when he noticed his reflection on the glass. And it was kind of like his eyes were focused on the setup, and then they snapped back and he saw himself. So he was kind of like staring at it like a I instantly think zombie. So he was like, and then like looked and kind of was like, oh shit, like he's staring, and then snapped because he put absent-minded at the end. I'm trying to, like, this makes sense to me, and I don't know why I'm trying to process it so hard, but I'm trying to think, like, did he fall, since this is called Hypnagogic, did he fall asleep, like, or almost was like in a trance? Strange. Cool, let's continue.
They snap. I've been watching, saw myself. We get our next clue that something is wrong later in the entry. I've been watching a lot of TV, mostly to pass the time. One thing I'm starting to notice is that I'll lie down, turn the TV on, and it'll be a show I'm interested in watching, but before I know it, the show will be over. It's not as if I forget what happened, it's more like time speeds up and I don't notice. For some reason, this only happens when I'm watching TV. The end credits will be on, and I'll feel like I just watched the theme song. But somehow I remember everything that happened during the episode. If I was just dozing off, I wouldn't know what happened. This has never happened to me before, so I think it's related somehow. Feels like a time warp. The first few times it happened, I was worried, but now I've kind of gotten used to it. I kind of like it. If I don't like the show, I can tune out, and the next thing I know, it's over. Kinda cool. I wish I could be as head empty as Derek, that time begins to warp and change my perception of reality, and I'm just like, oh, I don't have to watch TV anymore.
Yo, he's spitting facts. I don't normally watch TV anyways, so don't really care. Television programming and the whole shebang was subconscious, like subliminal, yada yada. You guys know the whole shebang. But the fact that he's just, hey, you know, it's actually pretty cool. It's like that. It reminds me of the guy, or like a guy. I don't know. You could really find them in any kind of like, like comedic kind of writings or works of literature, where like there's that one character that's just like, oh, gets his arm chopped off, and he's like, oh, that's unfortunate, but hey, at least that's one less arm I gotta put through a t-shirt sleeve in the morning, like type stuff like that. That's very interesting. And these are real accounts, I'm assuming. I don't know. Hypnagogic archive is an interesting thing. Okay, if Derek's really out there experiencing time warps and realities and just chilling, I need some of that. Because when I found out like certain things or having premonitions, I wasn't that chill. I needed some of that Derek mentality.
To continue,
I'm Derek now. Okay, 1 second. Holding this in my hand is bothering me. I gotta go throw it out. All right. That tea, I think, is. Oh, that probably sounded so weird. Headphone users beware. More ASMR coming. I'm gonna give another gluck. Ready? Oh my gosh, I forgot how nasty this tea is sometimes. Oh gosh. Wormwood tea, everybody. You want to clear out intestinal parasites? By the way, we all have them. Like, Candida is one that feeds up. How the hell did this get here? Did I just go through a time loop? I literally paused the video, threw out the one that you see me, like, eat, and then this is here. Oh gosh. It's because you guys introduced me to Wendigoon, and now I'm experiencing reality warp and shit just now naturally. I didn't need any more of it. It's because I talked about Derek. One more time. Helps with digestion and other things too. Wormwood tea. Okay.
Continue Derek's head emptiness, we have a painfully obvious description of what's happening that he's still not privy to. The next entry begins with him discussing missed calls from his girlfriend. I woke up with a lot of messages on my answering machine. A lot of them were from her. As I said, she's very busy, so her voice was upset and she has a hostile tone. She asked about me, how I was doing, if I was going anywhere, and why she hadn't heard from me in so long. Anyway, that wasn't the best thing to wake up to. After that, I walked downstairs and cleaned up a little. The shelves were dusty for some reason.
That was instantly contagious. I hate that I read that shit. Like in perfect sync with when he was saying it.
I'm sorry. I know the story doesn't want to give it away yet, and that's why he's being like painfully dumb. But I can just imagine a guy picking up the phone. It's like, what do you mean you haven't seen me in a week? Oh, she's stupid. Man, this house sure is dusty. The shelves were dusty for some reason, and some of the food in the fridge had gone bad. Probably a power outage.
Fuck, I hate it.
Probably a power outage. I threw it away. The lasagna last night was good. I added some dill.
Dill?
Good.
What the fuck is dill? Hang on. This is dill? What the fuck? Cooking spice. Oh. Cooking spice, fragrance, and soaps and cosmetics. What does it taste like? Deliciously citrus-like taste with slightly grassy undertone. Reading that made it fucking funnier.
Good for you, Derek. While walking around town, we have another indication of what's going on. I noticed a shop I hadn't seen before. It was a coffee shop. I'd been to the center about a week ago and it hadn't been there. There was a boutique instead. The speed with which they renovate these places is pretty amazing. I imagine it takes a huge team to fix everything up and turn it all inside out. I threw my sandwich away, and by the time...
Okay, so let me guess. He's just like, whatever happened, whatever experiment they did to him, he's just experiencing like memory loss. Or it's like, from when he was watching the TV and retaining everything from the episode, but completely missing the episode. It's like what his mind was registering things faster and storing it in his memory faster, but then like when his conscious mind catches up, it is almost as, bro, I don't know, because when it got to this one, now it's a little bit confusing. The speed at which they renovate these places. I guess if he wasn't perceiving these renovations, he wouldn't have remembered them. Okay, it's too early to be thinking this deep right now, but it sounds like he got hit with Gold Experience Requiem. The Gold Experience before Gold Experience Requiem, because I think basically the simplest way to explain that power, if you're not familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is like if Giorno punches you, since his stand basically regenerates things, before it was Requiem. Basically, okay, I feel like I gotta explain it quickly for people who don't know JoJo's. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, people have these powers called stands. Stands are like an extension of your soul or willpower, and they just manifest into a physical form or different ways. So Giorno, his can regenerate in a whole bunch of other stuff, and then his next stand is literally reality warping. But if he punches you, your consciousness basically speeds up so fast that your soul hops out your body, I guess. Bro, I explaining that is like a freaking rebel within itself. Let's just continue.
Time I got to the doors, it was already closing time. When I went in, it was only about 3 p.m. But I stepped out and the security guard waved goodbye and it was 9. I guess I must have lost track of time. Or maybe it was later than I thought when I got to the city center. I'm sorry for laughing, but like, it's just so wild to imagine a guy, it's like 3 p.m. and he walks across a restaurant and it's midnight and he's like, oh, I have to remember to stop doing that. The next entry opens and the problem again becomes much worse. My uncle's funeral was today. When he left the hospital, he seemed to be recovering. Now he's buried.
Damn.
I attended the funeral. My parents called me and they told me that I better show up or there would be consequences. I had no idea what they were talking about.
That is scary. He better show up or there be consequences? What the fuck?
Then I checked the computer's internal clock. It's September 1997. I went to sleep last night and it was May 1997. I feel like hell. Stomach's a mess from malnutrition, and I looked in the mirror and wow, I look old. I finally realized how it is. You know how when you go to sleep you start dreaming and the dream is incredibly vivid? Right down to the last detail. Then you wake up and you can't remember any of it. Only you should be able to remember it. It was right there in your brain a second ago.
Not for me. Not for me. I kind of wish this. When I go to sleep, I remember. When I wake up, I remember every single detail of the dream. If it's like intense, the whole lucid dreaming thing, but I can go into a bit more, but I'll sum it up just for the sake of time. Is like, yeah, I completely remember my dreams.
Yeah. It was such a real experience that it should.
And the only time I forget them, actually, sorry to keep pausing, is I'll remember the dream for a couple of days. On top of if I have any dreams or have any like significant dreams, the days following it. So it'd be like 3 days. I'll remember those dreams for 3 more days, and I don't have to write them down. But if I like don't need anything from them or feel like I've gotten what I needed, the dream will leave my mind. But yeah, I could like recall my dream from yesterday all the way to tonight or tomorrow, and then write it down. Like, yeah, it's weird.
Should register in your memory, only it doesn't.
Or cool, not weird.
That's how these prolonged blackouts are. I remember them vaguely. Remember eating as well as I could, shuffling around the house, going outside maybe once a week to keep my legs active. but the whole time I wasn't myself. I was somebody else, acting on commands, basic motor functions to keep my systems running. Might have taken one bath.
Damn.
Now these months are one giant blur, and I've snapped back to complete awareness. Feeling resembles being shot with a gun. So, as you've probably guessed at this point, whatever drug he's taking is causing him to experience extreme gaps in time. And during these gaps of time, his body is still walking around, however he seems to be a bystander for it, or as he described, feel as if he's in a dream. In our next entry, the time jump becomes more extreme. The surprises just keep on coming, don't they? The years start coming and they don't stop coming, according to a new song by a band called Smash Mouth.
You're a fucking troll, bro. This is a fucking troll.
You know, so I read and I go through so many ARGs and watch series, and I love all of them. But some of them do take themselves a little too seriously. And it's just nice to read one that is about a guy experience like these wacko time dilations, and the story just being like, hey, 1999, remember Shrek? It's 1999, almost the new millennium. I've been like this almost 2 years at this point. Didn't take a dose last night, or should I say 1997.
Damn.
Called my parents up. They've practically disowned me by now. Talk about me like I was dead. Their son on the other side of town, who never drops by to visit, always stays at home and never comes out, except very rarely. Neighborhood committees have signed petitions to kick me out, that my house and the stench coming from all this decay is lowering the value of their property. In the next entry, it again gets worse as he wakes up in 2003. He tries to go back to the college building to try to find the people who began this trial, but the building isn't even there anymore. And the final entry of the story reads, writing from public library. Somehow can't remember anything except the password for this forum. It all makes so much sense now. And that story ends with this person presumably falling asleep and either waking up when he's dead or at some point in time infinite. Again, while there are elements that connect to the overall hypnagogic archives, like the concept of the dream state or this kind of in-between state that we're going to see referenced a lot more in coming stories, I love that you could send someone genetic opportunity on its own, and it's just its own short story. It's an interesting little sci-fi horror narrative that just works on its own pace. And speaking of, we are now into the next story, which I'm going to do an official ranking of my top 5.
Should I do the next one? You know what? I feel like for y'all, I'll do the next one. Because I really enjoy these. You guys fucking with that? Let's go one more. I mean, I'll take my sip real quick. So just cause, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up into 2 videos. I'm going to have that one there, and I'm going to do Heron observations right now. And then, so, much love and moonlight. Hop right over the next one. Should be uploaded at the same time. Love you guys. Much love and moonlight. And as always, it's weird because I'm really about to see you guys in the next one, like in this space of time. But enjoy. Peace.